Let's just welcome Shula and Phoebe to the call. Hello, guys. Would you like to introduce introduce to us your name, your degree, and your country of origin?
I'm Phoebe, and I studied a Bachelor of Primary Education and International Studies. And country of origin is Australia, although I went on exchange on the same program as Andrew and Shula for a year, and I went to France.
Oh, interesting. How about you, Shula?
Well, for me, my name is Shura, and I guess my country of origin would be, I came here from Russia, although I live here now in Australia. So it was a bit of already, international exchange there. But I also did a Bachelor of Arts in International Studies with a Bachelor of Management at UTS. So I also did a year of exchange, but I went to Colombia for a year.
Interesting.
That's me.
Very diverse, orientations, like South America and then
yes.
Australia. Oh, interesting. Let's go through why did you pick the countries you chose to go on exchange or to do a full degree at? I didn't really have a story on that. And Andrew talked to us about Yokohama University and why he chose Japan. Shiv, why did you choose Australia?
Who's going to go first?
You.
Oh, well, I think it's a very weird answer to this question.
I mean, I feel like
I don't mind being the comic relief in this Zoom meeting, but the biggest reason I came to Australia was the weather.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I guess I grew up in the Philippines, but my parents are both Indian. So I've had a life of say going back and forth India and Philippines, and
Nice.
So living in the Philippines is fine because it's tropical all the time.
Whereabouts in Philippines?
Hey, sorry?
Whereabouts in Philippines?
Manila.
Oh, nice, same.
Oh, we've got a Filipino in the house. This is Emery, right?
Yeah, that's me.
There you go. Where are you from, by the way? I'm gonna go.
Oh, yeah, I'm from Cavite, mate.
I am from Cavite.
But, it's only 50 kilometers away from Manila.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean, unless you get stuck in traffic.
Well, yeah, that's 3 hours.
That's 3 hours then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I lived half my life in India and half life in Philippines. One thing I realized in India is I don't like cold weather. So so the choice was easy. I could go to out of the places. I also felt like Australia was a good choice because I kind of wanted to go out of my comfort level as well. Say, for example, my mom was really emphasizing, I should go to America or Canada. And if I go Canada, number one, it's too cold. And number two, it's so easy for me, say from an Indian background, especially North Indian background, say to go to Canada and end up living in a social circle consisting of just people from the same area. So it's I'll probably end up still living a very, what do you call it, a dependent life. Maybe I would have ended up living with a relative or something. But I always wanted to have this sense of, independence because I wanted to pretty much, know myself, who I am as a person as well. So coming to Australia was a good choice because weather's good. Study, education's good. A living standard is not as expensive as, say, for example, America, UK. And I can always fly back to Philippines in 7 hours, which is very convenient and cheap. So a lot of factors like those influence a lot. And yeah, there you go.
Interesting. Very strategic option.
Yeah, very strategic. But I did go against the grain because everybody was like, oh, you should probably go Canada or America. I'm like, no. I'm not gonna do something just because you told me to, like that. That's what I pretty much told my mom. But yeah, main reasons of just that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Interesting.
What
interesting.
about Emery?
How about you, Shula? What made you choose to come to Australia as well as Colombia? Oh, true, Emery. That's good.
Sorry.
I think Emery will probably sum it up better. I want to know because he's from the Philippines as well.
Sorry, I'll just. Oops. Yeah.
That's all right. I just wanted to know, like,
Yeah.
why did you come to Australia?
Oh, because the thing is, so I came here back in 2007. I was actually already studying at uni in Philippines.
Mm.
But then when I came here, I need to do my studies again. So I came. The reason I came here is my parents. They migrated here, so we migrated here. So my dad found a job in here in Australia. Yeah, because for an engineer, it's hard to make a living in Philippines. So
Right, yeah.
normally you have to travel. Yeah, you have to travel around the world. So maybe say Dubai, but our destination is Australia, which is it's good.
I mean, it's also close to Philippines as well.
That's right.
2-hour time difference at the moment.
2 hours, is it?
Yeah, so it's not like flying across the globe, and so it's easy. I guess it's easy for me to stay connected with my family. I guess in Australia, which is a bonus.
Right.
We can move to Shula now. Don't worry.
I feel like any convenient location is just like anything that along the same like latitude, like just makes it easier. It's like, oh yeah, Tokyo is like what 2-3 hours around there. Just go somewhere over there. Shula, how did you choose to go to Australia as well as Colombia?
Right. Yeah. So Australia arrived 10 years ago. I was with my family, so it wasn't actually exactly my choice. But I mean, I still love it. And so it was my parents' decision if they wanted to move here. We already had some family here, so it was easier. But Colombian, basically I wanted to study another language, and I decided on Spanish because it's like one of the most spoken languages in the world, and I thought it'd be easier than Mandarin maybe to learn. For me at least, because I already, so yes, I decided to study Spanish, but with that came the exchange part of we were supposed to also go on exchange after studying a bit of the language, and I thought like somewhere in South America, and I just kind of thought, Colombia should be fun. And it was fun.
Oh,
it was
so
really
good.
fun. Yeah, and I got to travel in the region as well, in Central America, and Colombia as well. So it was lots of fun. I am really glad I made that choice. So yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Colombia I actually chose it.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like having the liberty of choosing where you want to go, as well as like being able to like choose a location that you feel like you get able to like interact with like the people and like the culture there is like one of the most important things, because like some people might choose like Europe as like a generic location to go traveling to, but like they might not actually engage with like new or exciting different cultures. So it's interesting that you chose Colombia.
Yeah. Wasn't very common. There were 3 other people from university who went there at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was the 4 of us. Lots of other French people actually. It's depends which country. There were so many French exchange students in Colombia. I don't know why. They all decide to go to South America and Colombia.
Oh wow, interesting. How about you, Phoebe? What made you choose France?
I chose France because it's the only, I mean, look, I studied French in high school. So I was like, look, it's such a shame to not learn it anymore. So I was like, I'm going to do it at university. And the exchange thing was just like a bonus. But if you learned French, you could go to Switzerland, like Quebec and France, as well as, I don't know if they still had it, but like New Caledonia or something. I actually don't know.
Oh yeah, like the Cook Islands area, like
Yeah.
Vietnam.
So actually, maybe they didn't have it because it was so close. Maybe they didn't have it as an option. I don't remember anymore. But it was Switzerland and Quebec and France. But like Quebecois French is very different, and so is Swiss French. And so I was like, I learned French in high school. So I was like, I don't want to have to learn like
whole new dialects.
Yeah, I want to learn different French in order to go to this place. Like my French was already bad as it was. I wasn't going to then go like, oh, add another accent to it. So then that's why I was like, it's got to be France. Otherwise, like, I have to learn more vocabulary. I have to figure out another accent. I was like, no, that's too much work. Too much. I was like, that's why France was the destination for me. Otherwise, yeah, nah.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I feel like this seems like a very like interesting question. So I'll just ask it. What is the craziest story that you've had from your exchange experience? Yeah, I know. I would start off, but like I've only been on a technical exchange in year 10. But I know. I guess it's like, yeah, the craziest thing is where like my friends went into a store, they came out and then was unaware that it was actually an adult shop in Japan. She thought it was just like a cosplay store. So that's kind of crazy, but I feel like actual exchange students would have a crazier story. So anyone have any interesting crazy stories?
I don't know if getting drunk with exchange students sound as a crazy story.
Depends what you did.
I mean, as an 18 or as a 19-year-old, that's felt like the most sensible thing to do.
The most sensible crazy thing.
I do. I think one. Not really. It's hard to think of anything at the moment, but I'll try to. If somebody else has any story, feel free.
It could be even like a generic like story, like something that you heard someone else do, you know, like I feel like a lot of things happen like that.
I can start. I have quite a few. Well, I can take everyone, but I can start. Well, it's also a story about when I being drunk. I think a lot of probably crazy stories will involve alcohol or some sort of other drugs. But so yeah, what happened to me? Have you heard of J Balvin? You know, reggaeton. A bit.
Yeah.
Reggaeton. Okay, so. If my friends wanted really to go to J Balvin concert, it was in Colombia, in Bogota, in this, the capital. And anyway, so we decided to go. Beforehand, we all had some drinks at home. We got a bit too drunk. By the time we got to the concert place, we were completely smashed. And then we came out of the Uber and my friend took out her tickets, and then this guy behind, we didn't even enter yet the gates, some guy behind grabbed the tickets and stole them. Now it was the 2 tickets of my 2 friends, and then mine was still with me. I started chasing this guy. So I'm chasing this guy, but he's real fast. Even though he was pretty short, I don't know.
Too short.
People are fast.
Anyway, and then he jumped through the traffic, through the road, and ran through. So I was like, okay, I can't go. So to get in, we were trying to convince the security guards that our tickets were actually stolen. They didn't actually have a proper electronic system to try to see that, to be able to see that we bought them. In any case, we were able to convince them and to actually get in. The only thing, there were 3 different security stations that each of them we had to tell the story again and again. Anyway, in any case, and we got into the concert, and the thing, and then I basically fell asleep.
From all that running.
After the first song, I just fell asleep. So I fell asleep and I didn't even see the concert. I woke up at the end and I realized that I'm missing my phone. I don't have my phone. So we were frantically trying to find the phone, where one of our friends got lost. She didn't bring her phone. She was smart, but then she got lost and we couldn't find her. Anyway, we found her, but not my phone. And we went home, and I was able, I had an Android, so I was able to, through Google, locate where it is, and I could see that it was actually at the concert, where the concert place was. So, and then it moved somewhere else. So I assumed it was stolen, and everyone told me, anyway, Colombia, it is a bit of a third world, and lots of my friends got their phones stolen. So I assumed it would be, that's it, it's gone, and I was already planning to block it, but I just left a message, you could do like this, leave a message on the phone, please call this number. It was my friend's, and someone actually called the number.
Lucky
and
day.
we arranged and we met up, and I wanted to give him some money for it, as a thank you. And he didn't want to take it, and it was around $20. I made him take it. But anyway, the point of the story is be careful. Don't get too drunk. And I actually didn't get my phone stolen the whole year. So I was pretty lucky.
I'm glad that your friends got to enjoy the concert as well, even though they got their tickets stolen.
Yeah. It was all good ending, so.
Oh, that's wild. Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah, so.
How about you?
Someone else?
Yeah, Andrew, do you have an interesting story?
Aside from drunk, okay. There's in Japan, right? So there's a lot of people that go drink with their coworkers after work. So normally on Fridays or Thursday nights, at the very last train, you'd see all these people trying to get the last train, but then they've been out drinking, right? So then sometimes you'd see a train. So you'd be taking a train from Tokyo going home, and then on the subway, you'd see people just passing out on the floor, or they're just vomiting in the train, and then it's passing out. It's freaking hilarious. So that's my interesting story. Because they're all dressed in suits and stuff, right? So they're all sensible and stuff. But then they're really out of it. They'll be holding around like this, or
Oh my gosh, man! Wow. Yeah, I feel the whole drinking culture in Japan is interesting. I feel like any country's drinking culture is strange. Japan is all about elderly old men just having work drinks, while Australia's just get smashed.
I've got an interesting, I wouldn't call it a drunk story, but I wasn't drunk, but I was with my Japanese exchange friends, and I think one time in Newtown we were celebrating one of them. There were 3 friends of mine, and we were really still really close. I'll message every now and then. And I think we walked out of a venue or a pub and were walking to Newtown Station so we could go home or catch the bus or whatever. And there are these I don't know, I think probably there were these lads or they just teenage lads, and one of them was wearing a milk crate on their head and saying help. And then across the road, this is South King Street. And I walked across and I like took the crate off his head. I'm like, dude, are you alright? He's like, yeah, I'm fine, thanks. But one of his mates, shirtless, I think it would be like 16-year-old, wearing like a Nike hat. And it's like, and he looked at me and it's like, why did you take the milk crate off, mate? You want to fight? You want to fight? And I'm like, dude, your mate said help. So I helped him. And he punched me. So he punched me right in the face. And I like took my glasses off. And the craziest bit, so one of my Japanese friends had a black belt in I think Taekwondo. What he did, like he's like as soon as this guy punched me, he I guess that was
Okay.
he like went like he did like he took his pants and he's like ready to fight. And he scared this kid so much. He didn't even do anything. So pretty much like 5 kids, they all just ran away. So he just staunched them with this it's like he did this as well, and he just walked a step forward, and they just ran away. That's I guess the craziest story I have with like a kid.
I feel like stereotypes take a win in that moment.
No, but like. But I guess the best bit was like he just literally jumped in front to help me out. He just didn't even think about like what's gonna be the consequence of being like say a foreigner hitting like someone, especially an underage kid. He didn't care. He just jumped just to like be like save his friend or whatever. And I think that was like very I guess nice of him. So like I remember it as a fond memory, not a crazy moment, because like. My friend was about to like kick somebody's ass, and like, it just like just like for me like I was like one of the best memories I have with my friends from Japan. Like these guys are like willing to like stand up for me. I would do the same if like they were ever in a position like that. But it's nice to have like friends like that. So it's one of those crazy stories.
Interesting.
So yeah, I've been punched by a lad.
That's my dream, to be punched by a 19-year-old. Emery, do you have any crazy stories?
Hi, sorry. Just listening to your story, guys. Just remember my life in Philippines. I think
we're going to the Philippines.
I think it's all crazy back in when I was in Philippines. I don't know. It's because the place where I'm from, right, Cavite. It's really dangerous. I don't know, hardship. Like, what do you feel about Manila? Is it dangerous?
Yep. I mean, that's the reason why people wear the bags in front of them, not behind.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that too.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, yeah. Everything there. It's it's crazy. Like there's so many of these gangsta. Like they always pick a fight to random people, or I think it's normal for me. I experience a lot of this.
I think it's getting better now. I'm not sure about Cavite, but
Cavite, it's still the same. Yeah, but nothing really changed there.
Yeah, the craziest are normal in the Philippines.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's everything in Philippines for me. My experience, it's crazy. And when I moved to Australia, I feel like I'm safe. This is the safest place.
True. Yeah, it's like interesting. Like like all about your surroundings. 'Cause, like I come from like a relatively sketchy area in like New South Wales. Like the neighborhood next to me is like known as like a drug neighborhood. Like we affectionately call it Rose Ghetto.
Where do you live again?
Glen Pine, so Campbelltown.
Campbelltown.
Oh, that's not too far from my place.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I probably haven't been in like a really sketchy area, but I'm glad that Australia is somewhat safe.
Oh, very safe. Don't worry.
Yes, it is.
Baby, do you have any crazy stories?
Look, my craziest story is that it took me 20 days to get a bank card. That's my crazy
Oh
story.
shit.
It took forever, and I had to wait for it in the mail. No, they sent me 2 letters of confirmation, and I had to take both letters to the bank to get my bank card. That's my crazy story, that it took forever.
But
And
that's
there's no
normal in
Wi-Fi in
France.
my dorm room. That's my crazy story. It was like,
Oh, that's crazy, man.
it was like, do you see what I mean? Like, I'm just like, we're living in the 21st century.
Wait,
There's no Wi-Fi in my room. I had to like the cable thing, and it expired every 4 hours. I'm like, where am I? That's my crazy story. Okay, it takes forever to do anything.
Well, 4G.
There's yes, that's why I needed my bank card to get a SIM card. All right. So I was like 20 days for the bank card to then go get my SIM card. And then I was like, cool. This is fine. This is great. It's
well, that's the French system in a nutshell.
go. That's my crazy story. Oh no, other crazy stories are when I was about to leave. Sorry, the cleaner's just about to come in. Oh no, he's not. Okay. When I was just about to leave, they had just started their yellow vest protest, and
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
yeah, so they just started their protest, and I remember I was going somewhere on a bus because taking a bus is dirt cheap. Like to other places is dirt cheap. Like it's not glamorous, but it's so cheap. And I was taking a bus really early in the morning. It was like 7 in the morning, and it was winter time, so the sun hadn't come up yet, or maybe even 8 in the morning, no sun. And there was already a protester in the middle of their roundabout with like a flare. It was so early in the morning, and I was like, you are so dedicated. You're protesting. The sun's not even out. It is cold, and you're on that roundabout, and you're there. And I'm like, just...
That's the French spirit of rebellion.
The French spirit.
Yeah, other universities, they didn't even start class until like March, and we'd been there since like beginning of February because they were protesting. The university wasn't even open.
Yeah, they just close everything whenever there's a protest.
Yeah, they didn't have classes, and we're sitting there in the dark, in the snow, in the cold, right, where it seeps into your bones, and they're in the south of France, and their university isn't even open. They're just like having fun in the sun. Good times.
Protests, actually. Interestingly, I also joined some protests back in Colombia. There were student protests. They were asking the public universities in Colombia for half a year. They actually also shut down when I was there. There was like a whole like protest that they will not because they were asking for more finances. I had the exchange in a private university, so it was all fun. I mean, it all went as if nothing was happening, but I did go to a few protests, to support the public university students, and it was one of the first times I actually went to a protest. It was so much fun. I loved it. Some police, chasing you at the back with what's it called? What's others? What they shoot the.
Like the beanbag gun. Oh, tear gas.
Yeah, tear gas. Yeah. So tear gas. You had to bring a scarf, but otherwise it was great. Yeah, it was great fun. I'm supporting a really good cause. Free education.
Man, Australia doesn't have cool protests.
Anyway, guys. Sorry, I might have to leave a bit early. I have to do some stuff.
No worries.
Is that cool?
Yeah, Harship. Nice meeting you.
It's nice meeting all the new people today and seeing familiar faces as well. It's nice to see you all. I'm gonna request whoever's the executive now, Jaden, that we should organize more Zoom sessions like these. It sounds fun. We can try different, ideas and stuff. But yeah, It's nice seeing y'all. Hope to do this again soon. And yeah, take care, stay safe.
Stay safe.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye bye.
Have fun. Okay, yeah. If you need to go, feel free to go when you like. And yeah, we'll probably like end it in maybe like 15 minutes or so just to like make up for lost time. But here's the question. Okay, I'm interested in like knowing who developed like new skills while they were like on exchange, like in a new environment. Like I feel like right now you're learning a lot of skills, but like I feel like the more important skills, like when you go on exchange, you're trying to adapt to like living independently. So did anyone like learn new skills?
I did.
What was your skill, Phoebe?
Cooking. I never had to cook.
Oh,
ever.
same.
Right? Cooking. When you live with your family, and most of the time, if you're Asian, you don't need to cook at home. I was like, okay, so now I'm in charge of my own finances and like planning. You have to be so organized, because if I'm organizing a trip, right, I'm obviously not going to blow all my money on one trip and then just be like poor in my dorm for the rest of the year. So you got to organize your finances, you got to organize your trips and everything. And so, yeah, it just that. But then, yeah, cooking. And then looking for bargains. I've never tried so hard to save money in my life. Because obviously, as soon as it runs out, like what? What am I going to do? So, yeah, just saving money, looking for bargains, really good at looking for bargains now. And just cooking really simple things, not being picky anymore. Because look, if I can't cook myself a feast, I can only complain to myself. So, sucking it up.
True. You said you like also learned cooking, Andrew?
Oh yeah, man. I was like bare bones, right? All I knew how to do was like have a pot and put water in it and like boil the water and put like noodles in it or something, or like veggies or like random meat, like a hot pot, right? And I was like, dude, I can't do this for like a whole year. So I decided to get like a rice cooker. So I got this rice cooker in my dorm, and I'm like, dude, how do I use this? Right? So I'm like, dude, the only people I know who know how to use a rice cooker are my parents. So I had to like video call my parents. I'm like, dude, how do I cook rice? I'd be like, dude, so like this cup, right? And then like the camera's like here, like selfie in mode, and like, dude, like this, and like pour it in. It's like, is this enough water? And like just checking it. And like they were there for the whole like 20 minutes it takes to cook rice. And like, oh dude, the thing made a noise. Is it ready? So like open it. Like, oh guys, it's done. I'm gonna like turn off the phone now because I think I'm ready to eat lunch now. But like it was so funny, man. And they give me shit for it ever since. Like this kid doesn't know how to cook rice.
I love how we did no preparation before we went over there. I didn't. I was just like, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna wing it.
Yeah, true.
Like, yeah, I've stayed at home for like a day. I can survive on like 2-minute noodles. What about you, Shula? Did you learn like anything else? Like, I feel like the hardest thing to learn is financial like responsibility, because like you have to like manage your income and then as well as how much you expend that income. Like
yeah. Well, I would say I learned that before leaving. So yeah, I was kind of the treasurer of ESAC.
Course.
But not just that, I also lived on my own for some time. I moved out. I decided to try that in Australia, in Sydney. So I really needed to. I learned already a bit of financing before, and cooking. Well, I actually cooked a lot at home, so it wasn't that. I think so I was fine. I had some preparation actually beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I was good. Also, you want a housemate who can cook well. I had a housemate who made the best Italian food, like the best pasta from scratch. I mean, not everything completely from scratch, but like pizza and lasagnas and tiramisu and like everything. So I was set as well. But what I learned actually, I did a lot of, because I wasn't working there, I couldn't work as a student there. I did a lot of extra classes, like hobbies, because I had so much free time when I was studying, when I wasn't traveling. I did a lot of sports. I started taekwondo classes, I started salsa classes, other dancing classes, and volleyball, and yeah, I filled my day with sports, and to offset all the new food I was trying everywhere, so to balance it out. I did lots of, I learned these new sports skills, dancing skills. It was fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, especially like the cultural like skills that you can learn.
Yes.
What about you, Emery? Did you learn anything, any new skills on your exchange to Japan?
Yeah, I'll go with that cooking, with what Phoebe said, because and also eating
Did you
like
learn
junk food.
recipe?
Yeah, because in Japan, I think everything is written in what's the name?
Oh yeah, like
Chinese. So if I'm gonna buy in grocery, sometimes I don't know what I'm getting at. So it's better if I just buy like a bread, And to be honest, for 3 weeks, I either cook or I just buy this bread from Japan. And until now, I still don't know how to. I still don't know how to cook. That's it.
So adapting, that's smart. I feel like the easiest way to adapt is just like eat anything that looks like the same thing in your culture.
Yeah.
Actually, I have another interesting question that's like somewhat related. Like okay, it's not somewhat related. I'm just like making a tangent, but what is the best? No, okay, no. Sorry, is technically there, but let's go with how do you socialize? Like, how do you learn to like fit in with the culture there, or like how do you like learn to communicate with other people? Like
that's hard there.
Yeah, like I feel like one of the hardest things to go on exchange and to do is like to actually like interact with the people there. Like
That's right.
You're so uncomfortable with like your grasp on the language that it just takes so much confidence to talk to other people.
At uni, I was not mixing with the French kids. That's also because the subjects we selected were like first year subjects. Like we were not about to go and do like third year literature because like who are we? So all of our classes were with like first year uni kids, and it's just really different because they're younger than you, their French is better than you, but their uni skills are not better than you. So it's really weird. So like their French is better, but like their essays were crap. And we were like, did you not learn this? Anyway, it was weird. Anyway, but in the city that I was in, they had an organization called like Welcome to Caen because the town was called Caen. And they paired families living there with like an exchange student. So I had a host mum for the whole time I was there, and I would go see her every week, and like she'd cook me food so I'd have like one really good meal every week, super good meal every week. Usually it was a Tuesday evening, and so I could practice like with her and have a full conversation with her because she's. Hey, what are you doing? Bring it out. Yeah. I'm just going to move. But yeah, so I'd have her. But then I didn't really do any social activities. So I didn't meet a whole lot of like French kids, unfortunately. I'm guilty of staying with my own, like the Australians. I was with the Australians a whole lot. But yeah.
Just watching Phoebe pack her bags.
No, I'm just moving my stuff because I've got lots of tables in here. Do you want to see my classroom? Sorry, off topic. This is my classroom.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. That's so nostalgic, dude.
Nice.
It's cool.
Nothing in it. Sorry, back to the topic.
How about you, Andrew? Do you have any
Me,
yeah.
so in our dorm, we have like 4 local students that were there to kind of help us out getting used to stuff. Like by taking us to the shopping center and stuff like that. And then at uni, there's like clubs at uni, right? So it's kind of like UTS where there's like societies and stuff. But so I guess I try to find like some city clubs that seem kind of fun, and then through there I just meet people and stuff. So I joined the board game club, and we just played like board games. But it was only Japanese, so I had like no idea what was going on. So I had to like watch them play, and like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. And then I'd probably be playing it wrong, but it's pretty fun. So, and I also found the line dancing team, and that was cool.
Interesting. All right. Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, like basing around your interests and like having a local network to help with international students seems smart. I guess that's what ESAC is for.
Nice.
What about you, Shula? Did you have how did you end up like joining friends to like go to a process and concerts?
Yeah, so there was actually something perhaps similar to ESAC, but they perhaps a different principle. At the university where I was, they were called like sisters and brothers. There were local students at the university who, for extra credit, actually, so the university will give them extra credit for doing that. They would organize events for all the exchange and international students. So in the beginning, I was able to meet first these local students and as well other exchange students. And yeah, they organized really amazing events like, each person had to cook their food from their culture, from their country. And then everyone had like a big buffet. It was called potluck. And they organized lots of events of like going to a bar, going to different on excursions, hiking, and so that was at the start. That's how I socialized. Became first of all with local students at the university, and also with other exchange students. So my first half of the year, actually, because my Spanish wasn't as good yet, it was hard a bit, I understood everything, but it was hard to express myself. So I actually kind of was a bit lazy. So I was hanging out more with other exchange students from other places. And but then when my actual Spanish language skills got better, I was able to become friends with other local students, but they actually also preferred to speak English because they wanted to learn English. So yeah, that was kind of, but by that time I wanted to learn more Spanish, so it was a bit annoying. It's okay, we still, the other thing was, at least in Colombia, the way to socialize was parties. Well, you had to go to a party, basically. I mean, there were other ways. You could just go on like the events when people were going hiking, but definitely when you actually made friends was at parties. House parties were like every weekend from Wednesday to Sunday. Basically, there'll be someone, if you went to the first week of events, you'll be friends with someone who made the house parties every other week. And anyway, so I went to a lot of parties, and that's how I met people like locals and also other exchange students. And my second half of the year, I became more of a local, so to speak, and I spent more time with actually people outside of uni that I met through the parties that, friends of friends I became friends with, and then I went to their place. And by the end of the year, at Christmas, for example, was my last weeks there, I was spending my time with like a Colombian family at their summer holiday house with all their family at the Christmas party. So it was wonderful. Well, yeah, basically, I guess, one thing is to try to go to those first events, like any advice, like if someone, to the first events where everyone meets everyone, when everyone else is fresh and new. If you have that opportunity, and meet people like that, and then try to keep those connections.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh wow. Marie, what about you? Like, did you find it as easy as Sheila to connect with other people?
Oh yeah. So when I was in Japan, just remembering. Actually, it was hard initially, but because at that time I was shy, I was kind of shy. So that was back 5 years ago. And then one thing I didn't know is that Japanese people, they're very friendly. Like they can easily read you that okay, you're shy, and then they will come and be friends with you. So actually, my wife, she's from Japan. Yeah. So and
Nice.
to be honest, before I went to Japan at that time, she kind of teach me how to like the culture, Japanese culture, and yeah, I think that's it. It's just yeah, they're friendly. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, having a wife that's Japanese would probably help a lot with the exchange too.
That's right.
That's so good. Oh wow. Okay. We'll probably just have like one more question and then we'll call it there. But I feel like so having done an exchange experience and like seeing a country and like engaging with all its culture, what are your thoughts on that? Like, would you go back and live there, or would you live there again? What would you do? Like, yeah, how would you interact having done your exchange experience? Hello, dog.
Oh, massive dog.
He's a Groodle. Okay.
What's the group part?
Golden
Oh,
Retriever.
golden retriever. Okay. I think for me, I don't think I'll live in Japan because the working culture is pretty tough. Because they always work late,
Yeah.
stuff like that, working too much. But I really wouldn't mind just keep visiting it, to see like the places I haven't been yet.
Oh yeah, true.
Just like visiting the friends that I've made, I guess.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I think Jamie from like the Japanese
Jazz.
Student Society. Yeah, like last year he went like all around Japan, like visiting all like the friends he made as part of like jazz. Yeah, that was like interesting. It's like I probably want to do that too, just because I know some people and I still want to do stuff in Japan. So, what about you, Phoebe? Phoebe?
I think she's trying to be sneaky from the cleaners.
Phoebe.
Okay. We'll see if you.
What about
hello,
you?
Phoebe.
Yeah, yes, you.
Yeah, you. Oh, okay. I think she's on mute for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's someone in the room.
Maybe.
Sorry.
What about you, Shula? Would you go visit or stay in Colombia or vacuum?
Yeah, okay. I can go first until they finish vacuuming. You know, good. Well, so for me, I would go visit. Yes, yeah. There are lots of places. Like I did try to travel as much as I could and see the place, and also just in the city itself. But I would still like to go. There's always more to see, and also to see old places that I've seen and people that I know there. All the friends I've made. But I don't think I would live there. The question is, I would go to visit, but not live. I think, I realized in some ways Australia is so much better. Like actually living there because the wages are really low. I'm not scared safety-wise so much because I understand now how to navigate it. but still it's safer here, you know. And then as well, like they don't have public health system like in Australia. Yeah, lots of things like that. That like actually living conditions here are much better in Australia, where not as much there. So yeah, but I would go visit because it's very beautiful, and the people are so nice.
That's good. Oh, this is good. Thanks so much, Emery, for joining us. See ya.
Bye, guys. See you guys. Nice meeting you also.
You too. You too.
Thanks.
Phoebe,
Yeah.
would you ever visit France again, or?
I would definitely visit, but also more to, hi guys, it's just us now. More to see my host mum though. I wouldn't go to live there.
Oh, just
Too
the one that
hard.
made you good food.
Too much. It's too much. Yeah, it's too much. Like, it's not efficient. The protests and everything. I don't know why they get so angry about things.
They do love protesting.
They just,
I lived with French people.
yeah.
And she loved going to all the. She was the one who to introduce me to the protests because
They had a
it was
revolution,
like, let's go, let's go. It was like another like, let's go to the movies.
Yeah, it's so intense too because they really destroy things and everything. Like you would have seen it at the beginning of last year. The yellow vest thing was so big. They would destroy things. They were graffitiing the Champs-Elysees and everything. And it's just like, it's like people going on protest and then like vandalizing the opera house. And it's just like too much. It's, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yeah, sure. You know, we have peaceful protests and stuff and that's fine. But like, yeah, it's just so intense in France. I'm just like, no thanks.
Yeah.
True, interesting.
You start to appreciate what you have.
Definitely.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, I know. What? Yeah, after exchange experience, what would you like? What's like a country that you think would be more interesting to go to now? Because like I feel like for France, comparing that to like the other French regions in the world, like Switzerland and Quebec, would be interesting. But as well as like seeing what other countries would have like been affected by French culture, like Vietnam or something, would be interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I don't know. And also any like African countries as well, all those French-speaking ones, and there's a lot. If you want if you really want to think about colonization, then like yeah, there's a lot to think about. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like all the South American countries, like how Colombia fits on that like whole geopolitical area, like is really interesting too. So like visiting like each, like, I know, I feel like all the countries in the world are too interesting. So
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. So well, I think the event is like officially over now. But like, if you guys want to stay and chat, feel free.
So nice of you to come, Shula. It's so nice to see you. And
you too.
Andrew, it's so good to see you too. And Jen.